So after all the injuries, after all the negative stuff that's happened surrounding Forbidden Door, we are finally here, and did it deliver? Hello and welcome to FCTR, I am Hugh McQuaid, and today we are talking about AEW X New Japan Forbidden Door 2022, the proposed super show, if you will, of the two promotions coming together and delivering a show full of dream matches. That was the promise, okay? That was the promise of Forbidden Door. Now, top to bottom, maybe these weren't the dream matches that we had hoped for, but even though they may not be the biggest dream matches we've ever seen, were they good? Was this show overall good? Yes. This show, from top to bottom, I think was absolutely stellar. While there were a few iffy moments, and one match in particular that seemed incredibly out of place, Forbidden Door is probably the strongest AEW show of the year. Hands down, I absolutely loved this card from top to bottom. So this is my review. Let's just get into it. I'm going to tell you the angles, I'm going to tell you everything that happened. And yes, we are talking about the main show though, because I did not have enough time to watch the buy-in. Okay, even though it had my boy Keith Lee on. But shall we just get straight into it? And it started off, we got a look at the stage, and I thought, oh my god, that looks gorgeous. It looked very Marvel inspired. It was almost as if you had the rainbow bridge from Thor mixed with the Doctor Strange portals. I thought it looked really cool, really interesting set. And then I got excited because I saw who was on commentary. Excalibur, Taz, and Kevin Kelly. And I saw those guys and I was like, what a three-man booth. The wealth of knowledge that everyone in that commentary team brought to the show, I thought was fantastic. You had a great play-by-play from Excalibur. You had really useful insight into New Japan and the feuds that were going on there from Kevin Kelly. And you got the sort of technical element from Taz, who would talk about how a different move affects a different part of the body. I thought it was an absolutely fantastic commentary team that then added JR later down the line, but we'll get to that. But the first match was the trios match between Les Ex-Gods, Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho, teaming with Minoru Suzuki against Eddie Kingston, Wheeler Yuta and Shota Umino. The crowd were absolutely electric for this match. It is one of the most hyped up crowds I've ever seen for this opening match, because of course you've got Judas, which hypes people up, and then you've got Kazuninare, which hypes people up even more. So everyone was pretty much on their feet for this match, and they had an absolutely banging match. Banging six-man match. Highlight, Suzuki getting in there with Eddie Kingston and them just going to war with chops was absolutely brilliant. I loved every second of that. I thought Umino looked really good in his offense, considering I don't know that much about him, and I think Wheeler Yuta, who is so over at the moment, that match with Mox has done absolutely gangbusters for him because he's so over with the crowd. Everyone in this match looked great. Sammy was playing the dickish heel. Suzuki was just the unhinged, almost like mob boss, and Jericho was playing up, the wizard character and playing the heel. And I thought it just worked really, really well. There were some great spots in this match, like the shooting star press from Sammy to the outside, which was crazy. You got a trio of like suicide dives from Umino, then Yuta, then Kingston, and then Suzuki teams doing one, and I was like, oh my god, Suzuki. And then he, little bastard. I'm not going to say that to his face though, because he scares me. And this match got really good. It sort of ended with the Jericho Appreciation Society isolating Umino and just getting the numbers advantage because Kingston got took out. Umino got cracked with the bat in the back, and there was a really, really close near fall from that. Umino looked great coming out of this. He really did. But he ate the Judas effect. Jericho Appreciation Society won. Fantastic opener. Really, really great stuff. And I really loved this opening match. It was one of the highlights of the night. The next match we got was FTR, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler versus United Empire of Jeff Cobb and Great O'Khan versus Roppongi Vice of Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero for the winner-takes-all ROH and IWGP Championships, Tag Team Championships. This match I've seen getting a lot of praise. For me, I was the injury spot, because Dax gets seemingly injured. For me, it took me out a bit. Mainly, it's just probably because of the wealth of injuries that people have had, and I was like, oh god no, and I couldn't really get invested in the action. But they got me back at the end with some really cool spots, leading to FTR hitting the Shatter Machine. Oh my god, I've done it again. Hitting the big rig and winning the IWGP Championships, and they are absolutely dripping in gold. It was really fun this. Maybe I went in with too high expectations for this, but I really enjoyed it. It was a really solid tag match. I'm sure they've got more in the tank, because I feel like we're probably going to get rematches between variations of these teams going forward, especially if FTR are defending the IWGP Tag Championships. So, yeah, I think they left a little bit more in the tank, and FTR are just absolutely fucking on fire. And give them all the belts. Probably building to Bucks versus FTR 3, probably All Out, which I can't wait to see. I think that's going to be great. But this triple threat tag team match was really fun stuff. Next, we got a promo from Juice Robinson and Jay White, who both put over the IWGP US Championship and how he stole it from Will Ospreay, and the Fatal 4-Way coming up later in the night, which was good stuff. And then, speaking of Fatal 4-Ways, we got the All-Atlantic Fatal 4-Way. Malachi Black versus Miro versus Pac versus Clark Connors. I nearly said Chris Canyon. Clark Connors. This was, again, really good. And what I wasn't expecting with this is the really cool story they told within it, because that's what really got me invested in that. And that was the story of Clark Connors, considering I'd never seen him. He was replacing Ishii in the match, who got injured his knee, I believe. He was just like this fly that Miro was just swatting away and trying to get rid of, which led to the comeuppance of Miro when he got speared by Connors through a table on the outside. Looked great, and it got a mega pop, and Connors got quite a lot of offense in after that. Before that, I was a little bit unimpressed with how they were doing it. It felt more like a triple threat match, but then I realised the story they were telling with him was to, have him take out Miro, which I thought was great. Really good stuff. Everyone else in the match was great. Malachi Black was great as always. Pac was great as always. Miro was great as always. And it led to this finishing sequence in which I thought Miro was going to win. I really did. He had Pac in the accolade. No, the game over. I'm doing it again. God help me. And then Malachi Black just sprays mist in the face of Miro. That takes him out. And then Malachi Black got like a knee bar in on Clark Connors. Pac goes up to the top rope, hits the Black Arrow. And no, he hits 450. Hits 450. My bad. It's 450. And then he gets the brutalizer in on Connors, and Connors taps. Pac is the first inaugural All-Atlantic champion. Great decision. I really thought it was going to be Malachi Black, but I think I see what they're doing with this. I think they're going to have that sort of float between promotions here in the UK and in different countries, and Pac is the perfect ambassador to sort of do that. You could easily see Pac showing up in like Progress or WX Dub and defending that belt, which I think would be really, really fun. I think that's what they're going to do with it, because otherwise it's just going to feel like a strange, bizarre TNT title, but not TNT title on Dynamite. So I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see this belt that much, because it's being defended overseas. That's my thoughts. And Pac, great first champion. Really excited to see what he does with it. So from a work rate side of things, this next match wasn't the best match on the show, but it was probably my favourite match on the show. Bullet Club, El Phantasmo and the Young Bucks versus Dudes with Attitudes, Sting, Shingo Takagi, I think that's how you pronounce it, and Darby Allin. This match started off right, So Sting's sort of in the rafters. He doesn't come down with his usual entrance. You can sort of see like a silhouette of Sting in the rafters. And then Young Bucks come out, lights go out, and you can just sort of see Sting's shadow. And Sting's on top of the goddamn entranceway, and he does an insane crossbody onto those guys, takes them out, and from there, this was just running on all cylinders. El Phantasmo and Matt Jackson's back rake spot was a thing of beauty. The way the fans got into it, I got chills just from that. And then I got chills later again when Young Bucks do a super kick party. They take out, I think, Darby, then they take out Shingo with a double super kick, then they double super kick Sting, and Sting no-sells it. It was perfect. And then you got that sort of come back around when he eats a triple super kick from El Phantasmo and the Young Bucks. Just glorious stuff. And I think what I didn't think would happen, Shingo got the win here. He got the win with, what was the move called? He wins with Last of the Dragon, which is this really cool sort of spinning suplexy kind of thing. And it looked really good. Everyone in this match looked great. Phantasmo in general, just fantastic work. And the Young Bucks playing up the dickish heels again, thought was great. It was really nice to see everyone in this match sort of gelling together and working so well. Favourite match on the show. I'm going to watch highlights of this probably more than anything else. Just the no selling of the super kick was the bit that got me, because when they went up to do it, I was like, please no sell it, please no sell it, please no sell it. And then he did. And I was like, oh, that's perfect, absolutely perfect. I loved this match so much. Then we got an AEW Grand Slam video package, which, great, really fun to see. Last time it was Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson, so you probably get something else great on there. Then you got Shota Umino getting a fireball in the face from Jericho backstage. I thought that was really fun, really nasty stuff. And then we got something that I've seen people say was good, but this was the real low light of the show. Thunder Rosa versus Toni Storm for me was not... Granted, the crowd were a bit dead in this. They tried to get into it. But I felt from this, I don't know if it's a story they're telling, Toni Storm hardly got any offense in this whatsoever. Like, at all. She didn't hit a finish. I can't even remember a single piece of offense that she hit, because Rosa sort of always countered them. And it made Toni Storm look really rubbish to me, because she hardly got any offense in whatsoever. I don't know if they're trying to play up the, stories and stuff about Thunder Rosa that have been making their way around, similar to the MJF stuff. But if you're doing this at the detriment of Toni Storm, who honestly I thought would possibly win the belt tonight, I didn't think it was that good. It was a bit technical, lots of roll-ups, lots of counters, but Toni Storm just never got anything in. She hardly got anything in. And Rosa hit the Gold Dust, Dustin Rhodes, like uppercut. She hit her finish, and then she won with the final cut. She got a lot more memorable spots than Toni Storm did in this. Toni Storm really didn't do anything, and I think that's a real big shame. I don't know where they're going with this, but it didn't work for me in the slightest, and felt a bit out of place on this card, to be honest, because it sort of sapped some of the energy out, which is a shame, real shame, because they're both incredibly talented, but it just something didn't click here. Didn't work for me whatsoever. Then JR comes out for commentary on the next match, and I was like, of all the matches you're going to bring him out for this one, which was Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy, and he did get a bit salty in it, but to be fair, he was okay. But they kind of took away my three-man booth, and I was a bit sad about that. That being said, Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy was probably my second favourite match of the night. There was some insane stuff in this. The opening was hilarious. Will Ospreay selling, or sort of like just anger, Orange Cassidy, I thought was really fun, with him just having his hands in his pockets. and just Orange Cassidy getting under his skin. It was very sort of similar to the Pac match and how that went at Revolution 2019 maybe. And it was just so fun. Everything about this was so fun. Some of the spots in this, like the reversals, the tornado DDTs, some of the Will Ospreay can take a DDT. Oh my god, he absolutely spikes himself with some of these. And there were some great near falls, an insanely close near fall off a beach break from Orange Cassidy. And eventually Ospreay gets the win, but he hits his Oscutter. Orange Cassidy kicks out. He hits the hidden blade. Orange Cassidy kicks out. That was a great kick out. Honestly, really solid. Really great stuff. And then he hits the other move I can't remember the name of. I feel like it's like Stormbreaker, something like that, something really cool and anime. And he wins. He picks up the win. I think that's what we all expected, but Orange Cassidy looked amazing coming out of this. And then we got a beatdown. United Empire come down and start beating down Orange Cassidy. But who should make the save? And I'm going to butcher his name right now. Let's find it. Katsuyuri Shabata comes out to make the save. I'm going to be honest, I don't know a lot about Shabata. But he got a massive pop. Absolutely massive pop. So, cool. Really cool. Orange Cassidy puts his sunglasses on him. I don't know if that's teasing a match between Shabata and Will Ospreay. Probably. And maybe a match between Shabata and Orange Cassidy. Who knows? But good to see he got a great pop. Great reaction. Fun stuff. Amazing match. Next up we had Zack Sabre Jr. versus question mark. Who's it going to be? I think we all guessed who it was going to be, but it didn't make it any less special when Claudio Castagnoli comes out and he gets a massive reaction. Absolutely massive reaction. And then the match starts. He's got really good music, by the way. Really good music. And he just does a straight running uppercut to Zack Sabre Jr. and then hits the neutralizer for a very, very close near fall straight out the gate. And I was like, this is great. The match then sort of never really got into that next gear for me because it started off at like 6th gear. So, but I thought it was really fun. Some of the counters and technical stuff in this was great. I really like the spot where he's got him in an arm bar. And God, that's going to be hard. Claudio rolls over the ropes and Zack just holds onto the arm, breaking it and wrenching it. And then Claudio picks him up, carries him up the steps into the ring. He hits the big swing as well. We got to see this. I don't know what you're going to call it now. Let's call it the big swing. It can't be the Cesaro swing. Great uppercuts. Lots of uppercuts in this match and really, really hard hitting ones that look like they really hurt. But the finish came. Cesaro hits. It's like a cross-arm powerbomb that he's using to finish people off. He hits that 1, 2, 3. Claudio wins, heading into blood and guts. I think this is going to be really fun stuff, and we'll talk more about Claudio at the end of the video. If you've seen the show, Then we got the co-main event, the Fatal 4-Way for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Kazuchika Okada versus Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole versus Jay White in a Fatal 4-Way match. This was really good. Really good stuff here. You got a lot of teamwork between Jay White and Adam Cole, the Undisputed Elite and Bullet Club, and then a sick delayed suplex to Adam Page on the ramp. You got no Rainmakers. I don't think he hit a Rainmaker in this match. Lots of teasers of the Rainmaker. You got a really good showdown with Hangman Page and Okada, which is sort of where you want to see. You want to see Buckshot Lariat versus Rainmaker. That's the kind of crux of their arc. And then you got the inevitable turn, the great turn. I thought this was really clever actually, when Jay White and Adam Cole say they're going to work together, and he hits a backstabber. Thought that was great. I thought that was really poetic, to be fair. And then you got the finish. The finishing sequence was really, really sick because you got, I think it was Hangman went for a buckshot, Okada ducked that, and then he went for a Rainmaker on Cole. Cole ducked that, but something looked like it happened. Can't tell what exactly, whether it was Cole's arm or his leg or something. But Cole goes down, and then Jay White slides in, he hits the switchblade on Okada, and then goes and pins Cole. Cole hadn't taken a move, but I think you can sort of see in the video that Cole does try and kick out, but something's clearly happened. The only thing I couldn't really figure out is how Jay White saw something, or maybe he heard something that happened, because he was outside of the ring at the time that it happened, which I think is crazy good sort of ring awareness, if you can recognise that. But it ended very, very flatly, very level, and very Michael Flatley, Lord of the Dance. So it left a bit of a kind of cap on a match, because I feel like they probably had about 5 more minutes left in this, 5 to 7, but then again it is an Okada match, so it could go very, very long. So I think there was something else here. I think it shows in that the runtime for the All Out main show was about 3 hours 47. So they probably had that to get them to 4 hours, the rest of that match. So something clearly went down, flat finish, but I'm not going to let it spoil the match as a whole, because the match as a whole was incredibly fun. It was really fun, and I really enjoyed it. Great Fatal 4-Way match. Then finally we got Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Jon Moxley for the interim AEW World Championship. This match was good. I thought it was really good. I don't think Tanahashi's the guy for me. I know everyone else likes him, but having seen him wrestle here and sort of on that match on Dynamite, my limited exposure, he's not my favourite, but I thought it was good. It was really good stuff leading into it really picked into second gear when Tanahashi went through the table, and you got a lot of false finishes and near falls. You got Tanahashi hitting his crossbody followed that by the splash. You got really good submissions when Moxley had him in the bulldog choke, that sort of rolled through, and then he got him in it again. It's like, ugh, so close. But finish came when Moxley got him in the bulldog choke. He got him in the bulldog choke, that's what it's called, and then hit the paradigm shift. He called it Death Rider. I don't know if it's different names, different places, but he hit the paradigm shift on Tanahashi and got the 1, 2, 3 interim AEW World Championship champion. Great stuff. I thought it was a really fun match to close the show. I don't know whether I'd have switched the IWGP and the AEW matches around, maybe, and had the Fatal 4-Way close the night, but end of the day, we've got a new AEW interim champion, and it's Mox. So yeah, solid match, and the ending angle I wasn't too keen on. It's just a big beatdown between Blackpool Combat Club, Eddie Kingston and everyone, and Jericho Appreciation Society. Felt like that took away a little bit. I get you've got to promote blood and guts, but I feel like that took away from Moxley's win, in my opinion. And it didn't really need to happen. I don't see what heat that has added to blood and guts, apart from seeing Claudio Castagnoli come down and get a big swing. That was it really. Yeah, and that closed the show. Bit of a limp ending with that angle. If it had just ended on Moxie celebrating, I would have been happy. But overall, I thought Forbidden Door was an absolute triumph. I thought it was really, really solid night of wrestling. I thought the matches from top to bottom delivered, apart from one. And I'm not going to complain about the finish of the Fatal 4-Way, because if he's injured, it sucks, but what else can you do? I guess they could have called an audible on the fly, but, you know, they did the safe thing. So the matches were great, and yeah, Forbidden Door is done. The big crossover is done. I'd give it 4.25. 4.25 out of 5, I think, for this one. Yeah, 4.25. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and I'll try and reply to every single one of you. Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.